All right, y'all, today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to see for its local search, see for its city search if either of them, any of them got BSS. And we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More of that in the pinned video, home video, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph, in white down there. Highest intent people on the left. Google search, social search, people search for a boudoir photographer in their city, like right now. And our videos here focus on that, talking about BSS. And over on the right, the lowest intent people that ain't searching for boudoir right now, and most of them don't even know what the heck it is. They are got to reach out with the interruption ads via, Instagram, Facebook. Our sister brand talks about that, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots, yeah, we're dying a fast death here because we'd be on page 2 or deeper. And we already have the data. We know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So basically, if we're on, approximately 80% of Google searches are page 1 and done searches. So we care about that. That's the bulk of the market. So we got to dominate page 1. And even if we got 1 slot on page 1, that's still not good enough. It's because, there's 10 organic slots there. There's going to be approximately 9 other boudoir photography businesses. And as a result, we're looking the same as everyone else. And guess what a buyer behavior is going to be doing? There's going to be clicking every single link on page 1. Approximately 80% of them. All page 1, contacting everyone, never even going to page 2. Price shopping everyone, negotiating, bringing down margins, killing margins for everyone. And we do not want any of that either. Now, 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. It's accepted, it's common, but it's not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And I know this is not normal because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days with a new strategy we developed. Now, these 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, which everyone knows about. Just more peeps over time, get a new iPhone, get a new camera. And they decided to throw up their Google My Business page, saying they shoot boudoir, their website saying they shoot boudoir, and their also start posting in the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. So it's more number of sellers over time to the same number of buyers, and really, really, makes it difficult for every other boudoir photographer in the city. And as a result, the second thing we care about, and the second deeper root cause, is the false belief of page 1 equality. This is one that basically nobody knows about. It's kind of where a lot of boudoir photographers simply agree or kind of automatically accept that, every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And if you got it, sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. More boudoir photographers enter, you get relegated to page 2, which means invisible to approximately 80% of, boudoir buyers who never even go to page 2. They're page 1 only, peeps. And just kind of, well, hopefully somebody deletes their website. Hopefully I can move back up to page 1, but no, is incorrect. Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know that because I went from 0 out of slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So got to break through the false belief to then see if there's, solutions out there outside the mental cage or the brain cage when we've been accepting page 1 equality. And yeah, in 2 pictures, we'll see the solution. Now, boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So yeah, if we got 0 slots page 1, we're page 2 or deeper, we're visible to approximately 80% of the market. We're definitely disappearing. If we got 1 slot page 1, we're looking the same as everyone else. We're basically invisible. We're still disappearing. And as disappearing boudoir photographer, this is the kind of warning light, the flashing signal of telling us our boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing. Now, thankfully, we do have a solution. Thank the universe. we've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. So it works exactly as the name says, social search saturation. We actually saturate social search with the highest intent buyer, boudoir buyer keywords. And when we do that, it's kind of like the snow on the backside of the Andes Mountains that then melts into small streams, small rivers. Andes Mountains down there in South America. And once you get enough snow, enough water going down, eventually it flows into the Amazon River, which is page one on Google. But we got to focus on getting enough snow up top, enough social search saturation for then to then flow down onto Google page one search. So, and this has been the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully fight against a deeper root cause of market saturation and give boudoir photography business a chance to actually grow in the face of more and more market saturation. And give that chance in a relatively quick time frame. The only other solution I've seen to this to fight against market saturation is have a large, massive, well-known brand in the area. But dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years minimum. We ain't got that time. We got AI taking people's jobs. We gotta get cooking. So SQ methodology is the only thing I've seen that can help with that. And the estimates from what I've looked at, I believe it can help create a well-known brand approximately 8x faster than normal methods. Now, kind of an example of fighting back against market saturation successfully. Let's say we are in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There's approximately, there's approximately 1 million boudoir photographers there. We are one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir, trying to rank page one on Google. And guess what? We're like, all right, we're in price shop to death. Can't get out page one. We gotta, dude, our only chance, either build a brand, takes 5 to 10 years, or something that could do relatively quickly, SQ methodology. So we're like, all right, we'll do SQ methodology. We'll crank it up to the max and go maximum extreme. And let's say we take up the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords on social search. And when we do that, let's say it flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer Google searches as well. And so, anytime a buyer searches for boudoir in our city on social search, the social media networks, or on Google, we're basically the only one they can find because Google is 10 organic slots per page. And, so that's like 30 pages is us. They basically got to go to page 31 to find any of our competitors. So if they can really only find us, even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers, whose business is still growing? Obviously ours. And then if they, our other competitors, 999,999, they're basically all disappearing, slowing down, exiting the market. And so this is, it's an extreme version of what SQ methodology could do, or what it could enable. But again, this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that, is even close to this is possible. Now, once treated with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. So we get our initial benefit, more links on page one. We get our second initial benefit here is every new link we get on page one actually kicks competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. A lot of boudoir photographers actually like this second initial benefit the best, because we're actually relegating our competitors page one deeper, effectively visible to approximately 80% of the market. Who never even hits page two, they do page one and done in Google searches, and make them disappear boudoir photographers, and eventually force them to exit the market. So it's actually a really good second initial benefit. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC universe recommends to hit the 3 out of 10 minimum slots page one Google search. And once we hit those, actually, basically everyone else will have one slot for themselves, page one on Google. So we'll be dominating all those peeps. We'll look way more. Google recommended us way more. And also in the rare case, someone else has 2 slots, page one Google search, we'll be dominating them as well, because we'll have 3. So that's why the GBC universe recommends us hit 3 out of 10 slots. No, wrong way. A boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our full, micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. We finally have a solution. Thank the universe, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. Now my results here utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I want to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. So I did that and I utilized S cubed methodology. Let's see the results I got. So going down to the organic slots here. We got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Organic slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And did all this without even having a website. So I'm from 0 to 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search, all in 10 days, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. So these were my results that I got. Now the main event here, we're gonna check out this boudoir photography business, check out its local search, city search, see if we got any BSS, see if we're in the GBC recommended minimums. All right, so we're going to Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, let's see, Henderson, Nevada. All right, so let's see what we got. Nope. Nope. All right, we got 0 out of 10 for Henderson, Nevada, so we got BSS there. And now we're going to Las Vegas. All right, let's go. All right, so let's check this. All right, we got one. There we go. Boom, we got one. All right, so we got 1 out of 10. All right, so going back to our. All right, so local search Henderson. What's that? Is that part of Las Vegas? I believe that's my best guess. So we're at 0 out of 10 slots there. So we got BSS. We're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1, Google search. Las Vegas, we got 1 out of 10. So we still do have BSS with the search sameness. And we also are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. You're a discount Boudoir photographer, and you've done the local search for yourself with a high intent with buyer keywords, and you have also done the same for the city search, and you've had BSS for one or both those searches, or you've not hit the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 page 1 Google searches for one or both of those searches, and you've accepted and you know and you see now that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that false. Google actually wants to give as many page 1 links to us as possible as we want to take, and so you're saying, that's exactly what I'm looking for. SQ methodology is my only way forward. You're liking the initial benefit, one of the initial benefits, which is more slots page 1 on Google for the highest intent buyer keywords. Like the second initial benefit, which is which is kicking more competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. So making them disappear and eventually making them go out of business. And you're also liking, you're understanding the market saturation. People get new gear, yeah. Over time, more boudoir photographers enter. The market slowly gets more and more saturated. But now you're looking ahead and you're saying, wow, AI is going to be taking a ton of people's jobs. So you're seeing that and you're like, okay, actually there's going to be a larger and larger flood of people coming in to be boudoir photographers as AI takes more people's jobs. So you're thinking ahead and you're like, all right, I got to fortify my position on page 1. Can't simply dominate. I got to fortify it. I got to have like so many backup links that Google wants to rank on page 1, but we only got 10 slots, so like Google literally cannot rank all my links there. And I need to do that so that current boudoir photographers can no longer rank on page 1, and also guarantee future boudoir photographers that come in from AI taking their jobs will also no longer be able to rank on page 1. And you're saying S cubed methodology is the only solution to deliver that as well. And you're liking the future benefits, kind of longer term, which are, kind of the longer, every single day we successfully execute S cubed methodology. What we're actually doing is we are increasing the probability that, we're kind of building up these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to our brand, our business name, our website, our social handles, out in like the invisible AI mindshare space. So we're kind of putting these columns like like the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, or like spokes, on our bike tire going to the central hub, which is our brand room. But all these spokes are columns attached to us. And what this does is this increases the probability that we show up here, AI overview, right at the top, the most premium placement. We cannot buy this AI overview with Google PPC ads. So every day we successfully execute this, we increase probability we're shown here in premium placement, no ad cost, and guarantees our competitors does not get it. And also, since we're building up this AI mindshare, we increase the probability AI search services recommend us as well. So we're talking ChatGPT search, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Every day we successfully execute methodology. We're actually building these invisible thematic keywords on our around our brand. And as a result, we're increasing the probability every single day AI search recommends us when someone's looking for a boudoir photographer in their city through AI search app. And, Google right now is still approximately 9% of global search, but dude, AI search is growing every single day. Last time I did AI search for boudoir photographers in a city, it was, gave me 3. And I actually went to like Google for those searches. And dude, I found like 60. Like, dude, if AI's only recommended 3, we need to get onto those 3 by any means possible. And, I believe, studying this, understanding it, that it's this back end AI mindshare, gotta build momentum into it, frequency, repetition, relevance, authority, age. These all factor in, kind of all weighted on the AI search backend. And the final thing you're thinking about, can build a brand, estimated 8x faster. And also, you understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you've decided to be a first mover because you want to box out your competitors, ensure that they don't get access to this, and then you can actually essentially guarantee a massive gap between you and your current boudoir photographers and any future boudoir photographers that will be coming from AI taking people's jobs. And as a result, build a massive back-end AI mindshare momentum for showing up the highest probability with AI search. And you also understand the converse, which is if a competing boudoir photographer, jumps on this before you, then we'd be building that momentum, getting all those benefits for them. You'd have a higher chance getting kicked off page 1 of Google, going on to page 2 to deeper pages, losing. You're becoming a disappearing boudoir photographer, or more disappearing if you currently are already there, and actually slowing, basically on the path to the boudoir photography business disappearing. Plus, you'll be building up this massive back-end AI mind share for search momentum with your competitor. And so what you'd have to do is you'd have to go rederive, or actually derive for the first time, S-cubed methodology. And you would never actually truly know if you derived it correctly. Then you'd have to go and execute on S-cubed methodology every single day. And when you do all that, you're simply maintaining the gap, meaning your competitor continuously building every single day. So you'd actually have to double or triple our S-cubed methodology output every single day to close that gap, pull the AI mindshare momentum away from me and your competitor and towards you for the back-end AI mindshare for higher probability of recommendations in AI search. And you would never feel 100% confident even executing an S-cubed methodology because you would not know if you derived it correctly. So you probably actually wouldn't put in the time to execute double or triple. And double or triple may take, dude, it might take like 80 hours a day. Like, who literally has time to do for 80 hours a day? Ain't nobody got that time. So after understanding all that, you've decided, screw that. I've decided to be a first mover. I'm going to be the first one to use S-cubed methodology in my city. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM. The hospital is closed for new patient intake at the moment. So even if you wanted to work with me, you cannot. But when I open up the hospital for new patient intake, then shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for using our S-cubed methodology.